Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right, welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you give this video a thumbs up and maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. I'd really appreciate it. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? It's absolutely free of charge. But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel out, description box, top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And then finally, a little just underneath the link takes you to my membership page. It's a link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,400 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, first of all, happy belated Thanksgiving, I guess, everybody. I mean, now Thanksgiving's over with and all. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope you had enjoyed it with some loved ones, and hope you whatever your choice of food was, if it's a turducken, whether it's turkey, chicken, or a duck, or whether it's ham, or if you went to McDonald's, whatever it was. I hope you had a wonderful time. Hope you're stuffed. Hope you put on 10 pounds, like I think I did. My wife, she's a very good cook. I'm very lucky, very lucky. So we sat here, we ate a lot, watched the football games and all and everything. So, but another day, another loss for the New York Football Giants. It's this time it was kind of a lot of the some of the same stuff. Yeah, some of the same stuff. Just once again, also another loss to the Cowboys too. The one nice thing is we're still right now. Now I don't know how it's going to go or anything like that after this wave of this weekend rolls around. But I mean, as of right now, because the Giants are 2-10, we got the number 1 pick overall. And as I said, if the Raiders were to lose, if Jacksonville were to lose, I don't know if we're still be 1 or if we're 2 or exactly what. But I mean, as of right now, we got the number 1 pick. So we got that going for us. But it just we're getting ready. Going to be getting ready for New Orleans, right? I don't want to say it's a winnable game. You don't want to say New York Football Giants and winnable in the same sentence. It just doesn't go. It's like oil and water. It doesn't go. But they got 10 days to rest up from this. Unfortunately, it looks like quite a few guys. I mean, like I don't even know if they had any defensive linemen left to play. I think they had. I think the Scottish Hammer. I think Jamie Gillen was out there playing Sexy Dexies, and I think one of the assistant coaches was next to him. So I think we had the punter and assistant coach playing defensive line. And it's just unbelievable. It really is. I mean, it's also kind of like, if you saw the Lion game, the first, I mean, it was like every other play, there was another Lion like limping off the field. It was unbelievable. But anyway, with the Giants, I mean, we're going to talk about Dable, his little presser he had afterwards, and the questions that got asked him and his responses. But actually, it's like he had nothing on Bobby Okereke, but Sexy Dexy's got an elbow, so he left. I mean, that didn't help the run defense at all. We're going to go over that in a little bit. Nacho, I think it was a stinger. I'll read this article. And DJ Davidson, I think he had a back. I think it was. Well, once again, so let me go over this here before I get too crazy about it. But I mean, so let's go here. So we got Dable here. Let's see. on if Tommy could be ready to play next week. Probably. It's nothing over the top. I mean, meaning he doesn't have any broken bones or nothing like that, but it's swollen. Right. So now it's not a 1 week thing. Now we have 10 days off. So maybe the swelling can go down and maybe, but he didn't commit either way. He definitely didn't say, if Tommy, the right arm, if Tommy's the swelling goes down, he can throw the ball and that he's definitely the starting quarterback or, so he didn't say. But then again, once again, you don't know if the swelling's going to go down enough for him to play. So. But he was on the sideline. It was good to see. So you got Drew Lock, you got Tommy Chicken, Cutler, Parmesan, you had Tim Boyle. We had the Fab Three. We had sure going to win a lot of Super Bowls with those guys. Anyway, on Tommy, let's see. On if Tommy is still the quarterback, if he's healthy moving forward. He said, well, we just got done playing here. We have a few days to go back and watch this game. Thought Drew, I'm going to go over Drew in a little bit. He said, I thought Drew did some good stuff. There was a couple of things he didn't do too well, but Singletary got hit pretty good trying to get out there on that screen. It didn't mess up the timing. Yeah, he thought he could get around him rather than layer over the top. There was nobody out there. The guy who was covered, his man, the guy made a nice play. That was overshown. I guess it was. But you can see on that play, right, Locke gets the ball and Overshown comes crashing in. Singletary steps up to kind of steps up to me. But, the guy's running full speed. It's kind of tough for a guy to, to brace himself, basically standing on, and while the guy's running almost like full speed into him. So he hit him. Singletary bounced back, whatever. Probably at least a yard or so, and then he went out into the flat, and of course, the Danny Dimes thing popped up, right? So where Danny's like thrown out in the flat, and what was it, Van Ginkel, whatever, stuck his hand out, knocked the ball up in the air just perfectly. So I'm going to catch it and run for a touchdown. Well, the same thing happened here, right? Drew tried to throw it more like on a line, right? If he lobbed it up and Daves was talking about this, instead of, trying to go over, because, if you throw it up high enough, there's nothing the guys can do about it, right? And he was also talking about it seemed like there was a lot of open room in front of Singletary there. So if he could have lobbed it up over him, Singletary maybe, catches it and maybe makes a nice gain out of it. It's just things like that. You look at it, it's like, we lost by how much? How much was that one play worth? Then there's the fumble. Once again, starting. There's a couple of things. It's like deja vu all over again, right? Well, good old Eric Gray, right? Hey, let's put him back. Let's have Eric Gray return kickoffs. What's Eric Gray known for? Kickoffs. Happened again here, didn't it? Thankfully, I believe we got the ball back, right? But that interception, that was 7 points right there, immediately 7 points. Of course, we lost by 7 points. Then there was the fumble. Once again, in the beginning, the first drive of the second half, I bring that up because that's the same thing that happened to us. I believe it was against the Commanders when we played them in Washington. I think it was Singletary. He fumbled the ball. We got down. I think he got down around the 34 to 33 yard lines on the first drive of the second half. We're marching down the field. He made a nice run, really nice run, but he gets tackled down by the sideline. Ball gets punched out, and the Commanders get the ball. So that kind of killed the drive for the Giants. But here, with this fumble with Locke, he got hit. But I think it was 6 plays later, the Cowboys scored a touchdown. Just once again, no turnovers. I'm gonna go over some turnovers in a little while here too. And it just once again, and even Tom Brady brought this up too. He said one of the biggest determining factors in wins and loses in a football game is turnovers. And once again, the Giants. Let me see here. What we got here. How many? Let's see here. 2024. New York. Just want to see how many turnovers the Giants have this season. How many turnovers the defense got this season? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 9 turnovers. So they played, 12 games and they have 9 turnovers. I mean, just once again, lost the turnover battle again. Once again, we haven't won. Hold on there. We haven't won a turnover battle. Do this again. Here we go. All year long, not one game. We've won the turnover battle. And that, yeah, let's say. Let's see, with Minnesota, we were 2-2. Cleveland, we were 2-2. 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. Yeah, yep. Not one game this year have we won the turnover battle. The first game against Minnesota, we each had 2. They had 2, we had 2. The Commanders, we had 1. We had 1 turnover. The one that opening drive of the second half, that was the turnover that might have taken points off the board for the Giants. We wound up losing by 3 points. The Commanders didn't have any turnovers. The third game against Cleveland, we had 2. They had 2. Let's not forget the opening drive of the game. About 4.5 seconds into the game, the Browns were up 7-0. Because why? What? Who? Huh? Yeah. Huh? What? Huh? Eric Gray fumbled the kickoff, right? First play, right? Murray, beautiful pass, good pass. You know, it Coop in the corner of the end zone over there. It was a great pass, great catch, all that stuff. Give him credit, but a turnover, right? The Dallas game, we had 1, they had none. Seattle, we had 1, they had 1. Cincinnati, we had 1, they had 1. The Eagles, we had none, they had none. The Steelers, we had 2, they had 1. The Commanders, we had 1, they had none. The Panthers, we had 3, and they had 1. Tampa Bay, we had 1, they had 1. And this week, it was 2-0, I believe it was. Yeah, we had 2, and they had none. Yeah. So, once again, this is the 12th game of the season. We have not one time this season won the turnover battle. We're 12 games in, and we have 9 turnovers from the defense. Just, I mean, yeah. Once again, if we could have gotten a turnover, if we could have prevented a turnover, I mean, it's just the plays you can't take back. There's no takesy backsies. I mean, if he lobs the ball up, where Singletary's out and he lobs it up and he gives it a chance to run underneath the ball, catch it in stride, right? Maybe gets down the sideline, makes a nice big gainer out of it, but certainly avoids a pick six. As I said, once again, we lost by 7. So, but let me go here back to Dave's here. Let's see. Any updates on Sexy Dexy? He has an elbow. Dexter has an elbow. Nacho has a stinger on his neck, and DJ, shoulder. Okay, the shoulder. I thought he said back. Anything on Bobby Okereke? I think he was going to get an X-ray. Dave said he didn't have anything on Bobby. And why the running back was lined up often behind John Runyon as a protector? Well, that's because where where Zimmer winds up sending his blitzers at. So. If can take away from the help you can give their tackles if there are mismatches. Yeah, I'd say we had a number of jams with the tight ends. That's one less guy out there. They have it. I'd say a fair amount of jams, not on every play, but jams with the tight ends. Sometimes you get jams with the running backs. They mug them up there, and they have a surge protection scheme. We had a number of chips and jams and things like that. But I'm going to go over the offensive line in a little bit. On the offensive struggles over 3 games with 3 different quarterbacks in 3 straight games. We just got done playing here. Today was a couple of turnovers, and there were certainly plays where we had opportunities to either make a call make a call whether it be, but we weren't just not good enough. On if the quarterbacks can even operate under the kind of pressure that Drew faced today. I'm gonna go over that a little bit. On not being able to improve the run defense. Yep. I mean, I'm going to go over that in a little bit. On if this game's effort was more indicative of what the team you want to see despite the loss. We'll go back and look at it. I think these guys competed all the way to the end. Again, there's certain plays throughout the game that we have an opportunity to make them or whatever it be. We didn't get the job done. On the team's string of losses, John has said that he wants to remain patient with the process. Do you think these results will lead him and go back on that? No, I don't like the results. Nobody likes the results. But again, I have confidence in the people. We just got to do better. Then they ask him if he's worried about his job security. I mean, what the heck? They were asking him about Drew Lock. So, I mean, it's just obviously a bunch of questions. I mean, it's just, yeah. The Giants came, I mean, we're down, 27-10 going into the fourth quarter. We scored 10 points going into the fourth, which was good. Let's see, what do we got? We were 3 out of 12 on third downs. We went 1 for 1 on fourth down, but 3 out of 12 basically was at 25% on third down conversions. Not good enough. The Cowboys were 7 out of 15 on third down conversions. We only had 247 yards. Now, the 247 yards, the one thing is is because 70 of it came on the first drive. And so what, 247? So we had 107. Basically, after whatever, the last 3.5 quarters of the game, we had like 170 yards of offense. I mean, a decent amount of that was in the last quarter when we scored some points. So I mean, the final part of this first quarter, the second quarter, and third quarter, I mean, we just were not moving the ball much at all. I mean, that's when we fell behind. I'm going to go over the Russian defense. Our Russian, what do we have? We averaged 5.5 yards a carry, but a lot of that was Drew Lock. I mean, the running backs here, I mean, our running backs, I mean, Tracy did not run, we didn't do a good job blocking. Tracy ran the ball 9 times for 32 yards, 3.6 yards a carry. Singletary was 3.3 yards a carry. And Malik Neighbors ran it 1 time for 4 yards. But our 2 running backs ran it 16 times for 55 yards. That's like 3.5 yards a carry. I mean, that's not going to get it done. I mean, I'm sorry. Just not going to get it done. They ran the ball better. Dowdy, remember, Rico Suave, Rico Dowdle, Rico Suave, I'll call him. He had a career year. He had a career game. I mean, my God, the penalties. I mean, 13 of them, 100 yards, 13 of them. I mean, time of possession wasn't bad. It was kind of even. We had 28.5 minutes, they had 31.5 minutes. So it was relatively even there. But the 2 turnovers, the 13 penalties, and that was 13 accepted penalties. I'm sure there was probably a couple penalties in there that we had that they didn't accept. Just way too many penalties. The one nice thing was we were 2 for 2 in the red zone. So when we got in the red zone, we scored. And then Gano was 2 for 2 on the field goals. So that was good. But I mean, obviously there wasn't, yards per pass, 3.4 yards per pass is it's like half of what you want. 7 is not bad. 7's acceptable. 3.4 yards per pass. I mean, obviously, of course, a lot of it was also, the fact that we lost sack yardage too. We got sacked 6 times. I mean, right? I mean, just I don't know we're gonna go over that, but just another sad, I mean, some of the things are the same, right? But some of it is just, there's always going to be a few different things that wind up leading the Giants to defeat. Now, of course, now you see is that, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. We don't have a Patrick, of course, you're not going to get a Patrick Mahomes. We don't have a Patrick Mahomes / Josh Allen / number one upper echelon quarterback, which, of course, every team is looking for. We don't have that, right? On that one play, quite possibly, maybe, maybe somebody, and Patrick Mahomes or somebody doesn't either throw it or he throws it up high. Just things happen. Between with Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, and Drew Lock here. I mean, we just, it doesn't matter. Put Tim Boyle in that. We do not have an NFL number one quarterback, plain and simple, right? Our offensive line is just, of course, it doesn't help that our two starting tackles aren't in there, right? Because they're injured. But it just goes to show you that the guys that we got behind them, it was just absolutely horrible. Just a straight up nightmare. Straight up nightmare. I said I'm going to go over, a little bit in a bit here, but just straight up trash. Absolute straight up trash. So we gave the Cowboys their first win at home this season. And they were even talking about the Cowboys because the Cowboys got to play the Bengals and then they got to play the Carolina Panthers. And then they were talking about somehow maybe the Cowboys might wind up 7-7 somehow with 3 games left. And then somehow their playoff aspirations might still be, right? But I mean, they talk about the playoffs. I mean, you can, here we go, right? Speaking of playoffs, huh? So we got the Giants setting 2 records, and they're the first team to be officially eliminated from the playoffs. Congratulations, New York Football Giants. First team to be eliminated. Now, of course, I don't know with the Raiders and the Jaguars, if they wind up losing or they wind up going 2-10, will they be eliminated from the playoffs? That I don't know. It just happened that the Giants are the first 2-9 team to play a game this week, to lose, to become 2-10. Now they got officially eliminated from the playoffs. So we have 5 games left, and the Giants have absolutely nothing to play for. Just pride. Absolutely nothing. So, but they did manage to set, unfortunately, 2 records. Okay, which it was obviously not very good, but they've gone 11 games in a row, right, without an interception. That's an NFL record. Congratulations, New York Giants! 11 games in a row. They were tied after the Buccaneer debacle. They had 10 in a row, so they were tied with the 76/77 San Francisco 49ers, because apparently they did it over the course of 2 seasons. And the 2017 Oakland Raiders, they won 10 games during that season without an interception. So now the Giants have gone broken 11 games in a row without an interception. Darius Muasau had 1 interception for the Giants. I think it was about like 3 minutes to go in the first game against Minnesota. So the Giants, their defensive backs do not even have safeties, cornerbacks do not even have an interception. We're 12 games into the season, and nobody in our secondary has, meaning cornerbacks and safeties, has an interception. I mean, that's hard to fathom. That's hard to fathom. So we got 5 games left. And the Giants are looking to snap, hopefully, maybe somewhere along the line, the streak. But the Giants, I'm not sure if it's like I believe it's an all-time record, because you go back in the day, you go back into the 50s and the 60s and all that, in the 40s and the 30s, interceptions were aplenty. I think it was 61. 60 or 61. I think it was 61. San Diego Chargers had 49 interceptions on defense. Played 14 games. They averaged 3.5 interceptions a game. 49 interceptions they got on defense, 1961. They had 24 fumble recoveries. I believe the total was set, and their defense got 73 turnovers in one season. That was the old AFL, 14 game schedule. So they got 5 turnovers a game. Their defense. Holy crap, right? But I'm the same. But you go back. I mean, it was almost impossible to go more than a couple games without getting an interception on defense. So this is, this is an all-time record. 11 games in a row, team is gone without getting an interception on defense. It's just mind-boggling. As I said, you couple that up. I said the Giants all season long, 12 games, not one game of the Giants won the turnover battle. Not one. Once again, another reason why they're 2-10. The other record, I mean, it's kind of it's a record, but I think it's the Super Bowl era where the Giants become the first. I mean, it's like kind of like who cares? But the Super Bowl era, the Giants are the first team to lose 10 consecutive games on Thursday. So go back to 2016. Right, from 2016 to 2024, they played 10 games on Thursday. So this would be the second Thanksgiving Day game they played on Thursday. Both of them were obviously against the Cowboys. But 2015 was the last time we beat, I forgot what the heck it was, 31-20 or 30-21. We beat the Redskins. It was 2015. Eli Manning was the quarterback. Tom Coughlin was the coach. And so in 2015, our Thursday night game in 2015, I mean, we didn't win much else that year. That was one of the reasons why Coughlin wanted, he got fired, he retired, he quit, whatever happened. But that's why one of the reasons why it was his last season. It was just a horrible season. But so 2015 was the last time the Giants won on a Thursday, whether it was Thursday night football or Thursday afternoon Thanksgiving football. So the Giants lost 10 games in a row, and in the Super Bowl era, it's never happened. So once again, congratulations, Giants. Congratulations. So it's just absolute straight up trash. Absolute horrible. So the Giants, eliminated from the playoffs. No interceptions, and they can't win on Thursday. So thankfully, at least for the Giants, they don't have any. Let me just make sure here. I mean, let's do this again here. 2024. Just want to make sure they don't have. I mean, I couldn't possibly see how they. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Let's see what we got here. Okay, thank God. Thank God. The rest of their 5 remaining games roll Sunday at 1:00. Thank you, Jesus. No primetime games. Good. So Sunday, December 8th at 1:00, they're playing home against New Orleans. Then they got to. They have 2 games that they're kind of possibly I hate putting the Giants and winnable in the same, but 2 kind of games that may. I mean, but then again, it's hard to say that they're winnable because the Giants haven't won a game at home yet. But they got this next game coming up against the Saints, and then they got the second to last game at home against the Colts. But then in between it, they got to play. In 2 weeks, they have to play December 15th at home against the Ravens at 1:00. I said then they got to play December 22nd on Sunday, 1:00 in Atlanta against the Falcons. That's going to be a big game for Atlanta because they're fighting for their playoff lives. Then they got the 29th at 1:00. You got 1:00 at home against the Colts. Then the final game of the season is January 5th. Sunday, January 5th, 1:00 in Philly. Now, the thing is with that, what you don't know, all right, is with the Eagles is, will they have the I don't know, whatever, the number 1 seed sewn up? Will they have the division 1? Will they be the 2nd seed? And if they win or lose, they can't do anything. So you don't know who they're going to put in there to play, who they're going to sit, whatever. That you don't know. But you do know the final game of the season. The Eagles are going to the playoffs. The Giants have been eliminated. So you don't know. But the final 5 games of this season, the Giants playing on Sunday at 1:00. So no more prime time embarrassment or anything like that. So we'll have to wait for that. But I said the Giants, the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs this year, and they set 2 records in this game. I've gone 11 games in a row without an interception. As I said, our whole secondary doesn't have an interception this year. Darius Musa, linebacker, has 1. And we've gone as the 10th straight game the Giants have lost on Thursday, which in the Super Bowl era, that's the first time that's ever happened too. So it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I do want to give a little bit of credit here. I want to give a little bit. Obviously, the interception return. Some of the throws he had weren't exactly this or weren't exactly that or whatever. But I do want to give him some credit. I mean, I don't know if I saw one time where he dropped back the pass where there weren't guys like all over him. I mean, where we at? Here we go. So the Cowboys had 6 sacks, right? I mean, he was getting hit. Box score. Okay, let's go to box score. So the Cowboys had 6 sacks and had 14 quarterback hits. So so between the sacks and the hits, he was pressured. Like I think half of his dropbacks he was pressured on. I mean, it was just I don't remember him having something where he wasn't running for his life or wasn't getting hit. He was getting hit. Are we putting the dude in the Hall of Fame? Of course not. Is the guy going to probably win us a game this season? Maybe not. Is this going to be his final year with the Giants? Quite possibly. We'll never see him ever again in the Giant uniform. Yeah, quite. But he didn't even know he was going to be starting until like yesterday. Right now, of course, you go out there every day and practice like you're going to be the starter or this or that. So when it came time to them to tell him that he was going to be the starter, it wasn't huge news. He knew there was a good chance he might, all that stuff and everything. But this is his first action with the for the most part. What's up, dude? What's going on, buddy? With the first string. Now what he was, once again, we talking Hall of Fame numbers or nothing? No. He was 21 out of 32. Basically, he completed like 2/3 of his passes. 178 yards. He had the 1 interception, which was deadly, of course. He got sacked 6 times for minus 47 yards. So, as a whole, we wound up with 131 yards. But, he had 178 yards passing. Right? I said, but, he ran the ball 4 times for 57 yards. He had that one long, the 28-yarder. Right? He ran, he said he ran the ball a few times. As I said, he just distributed the ball pretty well. We had, what do we have? Well, kind of well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 different guys catch passes. He kept feeding it to Malik Neighbors a lot. I'm going to go over that in a little bit. Theo, Tracy, Slayton, Hyatt caught 2. Wando Robinson caught a couple. But, this kind of goes back to a little bit kind of like what, kind of like the Daniel Jones thing, or like last year. You can't dial up all these fancy kind of things, and you come in here and you take the safety here, and then you go all the way across the field, and we'll hold the ball in the pocket for 4 or 5 seconds, wait for you to clear the safety, and then we'll drop it in there, and we'll score a touchdown. We'll dance the mock. No, not if you can't stay in the pocket for more than half a second. I seen there was one play. I was looking. They showed like Evan Neal. He was actually like facing backwards. Instead of like, when you line up and you line of scrimmage and you get down and you stance and you're supposed to block, right? Well, there was one. It was a pass, and he was like turned around backwards, like facing lock. Like who are you blocking? It's just. The guys couldn't block him. Parsons was looking like, as usual against the Giants, unbelievable. there was a thing here. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Chris Hubbard, Evan Neal cannot block. I mean, our tackles were just ungodly, horrible. We couldn't block Parsons, Golston, or Carl Lawson. It's no embarrassment. Offensive tackles around the league have had problems with Micah Parsons ever since he came into the league. And Golston and Lawson are no slouches either. The Giants thought that they had solved their offensive tackle problem when they signed Jermaine Illuminor this offseason. But then Andrew Thomas suffered yet another injury. Oh, my God, is in his uncomfortably injured-riddled pro career. And Illuminor went down last week against Tampa Bay. That left Evan Neal and Chris Hubbard to fend for themselves because Tyree Phillips was only recently added to the practice squad after his own injury rehabilitation. And they don't seem like they want to put a Zudo out there. You knew it wouldn't end well, and it didn't. Parsons in particular wreaked havoc, but starter of the week, Drew Lock was fleeing pressure all night. Lock didn't look any better than Tommy DeVito did last week. What was all the fuss about who was number 2 and who was number 3? But both quarterbacks could reasonably sue for lack of support from the front. I mean, what do you want? I mean, what was Patrick Mahomes going to do in this game? What was Jesus Christ going to do? I mean, they're just going to run for their lives. I mean, Locke was sacked 6 times and was pressured at least 3 times as often as that. 3 times as often as that. He's not the answer, and he took a beating. He did. He took a beating. But props to him for standing in there, leading a late drive that almost gave the Giants a chance to tie at the end. As I said, I just wanted to give him some credit. As I said, is he taking us to the Super Bowl? Is he going to be here next year? Is he an all-pro? No. But I wanted to give him a little bit of a shot. He took off. He ran a couple of times. Said that one time he almost got into the end zone. The one time, I think it's when he kicked the pylon. I guess the ball wasn't, I guess if he held the ball out or something like that, maybe he would have gotten it over and they would give him a touchdown. But I guess his foot came down, his heel came down in bounds, his toe kicked the pylon. But I guess when he was going out of bounds, I guess the ball was just short of the goal line, I guess. So they brought it back. And then the Giants scored a touchdown I believe it was the next play anyway, so it worked out well. But, he took off a few times. But sometimes he was just running for his life. Just running, The turnover, he had the one fumble was because he got sacked. If he didn't get sacked, maybe we don't have the turnover. Maybe the Cowboys don't score 7 points. Maybe the game is tied. A lot of things. I mean, he made a poor decision on the one pass. They got run back for pick 6. Maybe he should have tried to lob it over the guy's head where he couldn't have touched it. But I just wanted to give him, just at least a quick shout out. I mean, short notice, right? He was our 3rd string quarterback once again. You said you don't know if he's going to be playing next week against the Saints. DeVito's arm might rest up enough. Once again, that too, you don't know. If DeVito's arm rests up well enough, will DeVito play against the Saints, or are we going to go back to Locke? You don't know. But there's a lot of people that were ripping Locke after, let's see here. Oh, here we go. NFL fans trolled Dable. Well, Dable, but they're also trolled. Also trolling Locke, too. Oh, there. Man, Drew Lock is playing like someone who 15 different teams gave an opportunity to and let them go. I did not see that coming. Drew Lock realizing, there's another one. Compared to the baseline of Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito, Daniel Jones is a Hall of Famer. Got to be honest, I didn't think Drew Lock would be even this bad. Smart of Drew Lock to act like he's never played football before. So apparently some of these fans thought that Drew Lock never played football. One of his fans commented, Cowboys will never see him coming later in the game. Let's see. Didn't know it was possible to be worse than Tommy DeVito in this article. It says Drew Lock says, hold my beer. You know, it said Drew Lock was going to go in there and possibly play worse than Tommy DeVito. You know, so I mean, there was a lot of people afterwards to rip Lock. I mean, as I said, once again, he's a backup. There's a reason why he's a backup, right? The reason why he might be a second or third stringer, right? I mean, he's not going to take this team or any team to a Super Bowl or a promised land or nothing like that. But I thought he played very gutsy. You know, he did a decent job. Of course, his one mistake, I mean, it kind of almost cost us the game, I guess, the 7 points. But, you know, the pounding he took, right? He kept getting up. And he took some more pounding, and and you know, and late in the game, he let us. You know, we scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, right? We just couldn't get the ball back, right? But as I seen a lot of people online were making fun of Locke, and I said I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. I mean, once again, as I said, did I expect him to have a Hall of Fame game here? No, of course not, but. Just want to give him a little shout out. I thought he played admirably under the circumstances and with the offensive line that he had. I think he played pretty well. So I want to give a little shout out to him. But give a shout out to Doc. But oh my God, this offensive line just straight up trash. Giants offensive line just unbelievable. I mean, as I said, I mean, this winds up coupling up with, going back to what happened with Locke, right? I mean, the times he got hit. I mean, just every time we dropped back to pass, somebody was hitting Locke. I mean, then the one, let me see here. I got to find it here. Whoops. There was a video here that showed. Oh, I guess I ain't gonna find it. Oh well. I said there was a video here showing when Locke got sacked. Yeah, but I said it's just the offensive line was just absolutely freaking atrocious today. Oh wait, maybe it's it here. That's the pick six. Okay, here we go. Is it gonna play? I think I gotta. Okay, I'll go here. Okay, stop it. Okay, so he steps up. I mean, you look. There's 4 guys out in the route that I can see. Okay, this is where it's 13-10. It's 3rd and 2. 13 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the third. Because it's the first drive, obviously, of the second half. Drew Lock said there's not pressure, but he's stepping up into the pocket. It's 3rd down and 2, right? And I can see 4 guys in out in the routes, and it's like pretty much man to man. It looks like, and they're covered. So there's like nowhere for him to go. So he steps up and turn that down. And, he takes a hit at the 35-yard line. And actually, he took a hit at the 35, and then he took a hit. He took another hit, and that's when the ball came out. So the ball was at the 38. So he drops back and drops back, goes up, and he starts running for it. So he has to get out to the 40-yard line for a first down. So he goes, he takes a hit at the 35, he bounces off of that, and then he takes another hit on the side, and around the 38-yard line, the ball comes out. So, you obviously have to do a better job of, you got to give the guy some credit, for trying to make something happen. But, he got hit. You got to do a better job. So, and then 6 plays after that, the Cowboys scored their touchdown, and they went up 20-10. Then later on, they scored another touchdown to go up 27-10. And then the Giants scored their 10 points in the fourth quarter, and just, a little too late, too little, too late. But, just the offensive, as I said, and it was the penalties. I know there was one, the heck was it? Oh, I think it was Malik Neighbors caught a pass down the sideline, and there was a holding or something on Manhurts, and they brought it back. There was a nice play to Malik Neighbors, and it got called back. I don't remember what quarter it was or whatever it was, but Giants had got a first down out of it. Malik Neighbors made a catch. And I said, it might have been a first down, but it got called back. There was penalty. I said we had 13. It doesn't say. I'd have to go back and look at the play-by-play and all that and everything. But there was a grand total of, did I say 13 penalties? Yeah, for 98 yards. And it was 13 penalties, and of course it wasn't all on the offensive line, but there was 13 penalties that were accepted. All right, but a lot of them on the offensive line. As I said, we gave up 6 sacks. There was 14 quarterback hits. I mean, he was pressured like I saw a stat. I think we had it might have been like 2/3 of his dropbacks. There was pressure on, or something. It was just horrible. Now, we did have backup. Our tackles were backups, so you got to give them that. But I know John Michael Schmitz gave up a sack. I know it was obviously a penalty was on a Runyon. It was, it was just almost all across the whole line. I mean, I'm dying to see what the PFF grades are for offensive line performance here, because it was just horrible, absolutely horrible. Now, one of the things is it does take you out of your rhythm, or maybe shall I say your what you're trying to do on certain plays and all, because it's like, well, neither one of our tackles can block, so we got to keep a tight end in over here, and we got to have our running back chipping over here, and then maybe we can send 2 guys out in the pass patterns, and hopefully, So it's absolutely horrible, absolutely horrible. But it was, I don't hardly remember a play, where Drew Lock wasn't like either getting hit, sacked, or just straight up running for his life. What do you expect anybody to do? As I said, Patrick Mahomes would have had a hard time winning this football game. That offensive line performance. And I said, and then our running game, was not very good at all. I said, let's see. Box score. All right. So I said, Locke did, as I said, he took off 4 times, got 57 yards. He had that 128-yarder. I believe that was the one that he kicked the pylon and was just short of of scoring a touchdown. But I said Tracy ran the ball 9 times for 32 yards, and Singletary was 7 times for 23 yards. And then we had Malik Neighbors. So it was the nice thing about with the one with Malik is you get the freaking guy the ball. Unfortunately, we don't have Saquon anymore. If we had Saquon and Malik, I'm not saying we'd be going to the playoffs and all like that, but now you have 2 really good players there. You didn't want to pay Saquon, so now you're back down to 1 really good player. But they got the ball. They threw the ball at Malik quite a bit, 13 times. He got 13 targets. He caught the ball 8 times, and he had the 1 run. But I'm sure the Giants would much rather run the ball. Their 2 running backs ran the ball 16 times. Right? As I said previously, Tyrone Tracy ran it 9 times for 32 yards, 3.9 yards a carry. I'm sorry, 3.6 yards a carry. His longest run was 7 yards. Devin Singletary ran the ball 7 times for 23 yards, 3.3 yards a carry. Once again, his longest carry, 7 yards. Yeah, it was just absolutely horrible. 16 times we ran our running backs for 55 yards. Like 16, 32, just about 3.5 yards a carry. Not getting it done. So, the offensive line, as I said, once again, I know, both our starting tackles, Right? I mean, if Andrew Thomas could still be there and Illuminor, and if everybody was still healthy, they'd be, But I said, John Michael Schmitz, just it's like, is he a bust? No. But man, would I like him to be better? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you look at the guys they drafted. I mean, Zudu, McKeithen, Neal, John Michael Schmitz. I mean, wow. I mean, at least the guys they brought in, Illuminor is decent, Runyon's decent, Van Roten's decent. But you don't want to have to keep bringing in. The idea is not to keep having to bring in free agents. Yeah. The idea is to be able to draft, develop, keep, and have these guys flourish. The Giants, that ain't it. I mean, Evan Neal had the one nice game, his first game back. I mean, he did a nice job run blocking and all of that. But I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, you put him against an elite. I mean, everybody has problems with Micah Parsons. Don't get me wrong. But once again, it just goes to show you, with Evan Neal out there, just put him against somebody who is elite. I mean, it's just he's going to have problems. I really, 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 really would like to see them maybe move Evan Neal in to guard. If we get rid of Van Roten, if we don't bring him back, right? I mean, I would love to see him move Evan Neal into guard. I mean, really. I mean, I don't even, the guy can even stay healthy. He was on the injury report with a hip. So, I mean, I don't know, was his hip bothering him that bad that he played that hard? Well, who knows? But obviously the offensive line was absolute trash today. Couldn't run, couldn't pass block. Absolutely trash. Every time we play the Cowboys, it's like it's just trash. Absolute garbage on the offensive line. Every time. It is unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable. And just speaking of trash, let's go from one trash subject to another trash subject. I mean, this one, oh my God. Whew. Giants run defense and tackling. Oh, I got tackling. How's that, huh? All right, tackling. Straight up trash. Absolute freaking garbage. Unbelievable. Tackling them. I missed the letter. So the N is right by the M on the keyboard. So I hit that. But just absolute garbage. I mean, I seen a stat. I mean, this was just, I couldn't believe. I mean, early on in the game, the first quarter and a half or whatever, right? Then I seen this stat. I mean, they were even talking about it, missed tackles. And it was just like, yeah, I missed a lot of tackles. Well, it was a stat, right? It came up on the TV. I think, I could be off, by the way, but I think it was second quarter. I think there was 8 minutes and 26 seconds left in the second quarter. So we played 21 and a half minutes. We played about a third of the game, a little more than a third of the game. And a stat came up on the TV, said the Giants had missed 10 tackles already. Now, you miss 10 tackles in a game, that's not good. 5, 6, things happen. But you want to play, you want money? I mean, we're not Deion Sanders here. I mean, Deion Sanders apparently could get away with not having to worry about tackling, but we tackle. You got to tackle. I mean, so you want to get money? You want to get paid? You want the big bucks? We need to tackle. I mean, they missed 10 tackles. I go look and say I don't know. It didn't say. You will say. I think PFF will have when the grades come out and all that stuff, they'll show, they'll have a stat for how many tackles the Giants missed. And there's other than PFF that have that too. So I don't know exactly how many tackles they wanted missing. Well, I'll be able to find out. But it's unbelievable the amount of tackles they missed. I mean, you have to, when you get a chance, you have to bring the guys down. I mean, you can show effort and all that stuff and everything, but unless you're bringing the guy down, I mean, oh my God. And where's the run defense? And I know, I mean, obviously, but it just kind of goes to show you, right? Some of it is, we need to beef up. We need to get somebody next to Sexy Dexy because he went out with his elbow. Now, we don't know how long, if he'll be out for extended period of time, if he'll be back with the Saints, whatever. But when he went out, obviously, the run defense, especially up the middle, was just non-existent. It was not good. So it goes to show you. I mean, obviously, Nacho, he got hurt. DJ Davidson got hurt. Sexy Dexy got hurt. So, right. But it goes to show you we need another defensive tackle in there. We need Sexy Dexy, and I said hopefully in the draft we can pick up somebody. Unfortunately, as I said, the thing that just kind of kicks you in the cojones. Our Dable and Shane, we screwed up. I was going to say, I was just about, dude, we're thinking alike. It's scary. But I was talking about. Well, see, the thing is with Leonard Williams, that's a lot of money. He's a lot of money. I love Leonard Williams. Leo the Lion with that freaking head. Love the dude to death, but he a lot of money. But we're talking about, was it BJ Hill? He's with Cincinnati. He's still doing pretty well there. I mean, I don't know what his salary is, but he's not making $30 million a year. He's doing, and he had a nice game. Of course, it was against the Giants. But Dalvin Tomlinson isn't you're not going to get 12 sacks from him or not like that. You might over a course of a year. I'm glad you brought him up. Let's take a look at good old Dalvin. Dalvin Tomlin. Because the last time the Giants had a decent run defense, right? They were decent. Was the one year we had Leonard Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, and we had Sexy Dexy, because we brought in we had Sexy Dexy. We're paying him a decent amount because he was a first round pick. We brought in Leonard Williams, paid him a lot of money, but then said it was 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so after the 2020 season, Dalvin Tomlinson was a free agent, and they just didn't want to pay him. So then obviously went to Minnesota, and let's see here, just trying to. How's good old Dalvin doing? I mean, so let's see. All right, what are we at here? So 17, 18, 19, 20, he was with the Giants. The last 2 years, he was spent 2 years with Minnesota and I thought it was 3 years with Minnesota. 2 years with Minnesota and 2 years with Cleveland. And, I mean, he hasn't missed a game. Hasn't missed a game. 2017, he started, played in 16 games. 2018 started and played in 16 games. 2019 started, played in 16. 2020, 16, 16. 2021, 16, 16. 2023, 16. So this year he's at 11 and 11. So he hasn't missed any. 2022, I guess he must have missed. Oh, I'm sorry. 2023, he must have missed a game, I guess, because they played 17 games. So I think in 2022, because maybe he might have missed like 4 games. But I mean, he plays. What does he have? Sacks here. He has 19 for his career. He averages like 3 a year. Yeah. He has 3 this year. He had 3 last year, 2.5, 2.5, 3.5, 3.5. So he averages like 3 sacks. But he was very good against the run. He was very, very good against the run. And, he doesn't he's not going to be a boatload of money. And of course, once again, we just, bye-bye. I said, BJ Hill, we traded him. We got Price, the center from Cincinnati, right? But the problem was the next year Price was gone, and the next year Hill was still in Cincinnati, and he's still in Cincinnati. It's like, it's almost like, you can go around the league and you look at a lot of guys, not everybody, but a lot of guys who are on the Giants, who the Giants didn't sign, whatever, let them go, whatever it is. they're doing pretty good. you know, it's yeah. Either we don't draft well, like with the cornerback position, we draft guys and we don't want to re-sign them, so we let them go, and then wherever they go, they do well. It's just, but I mean, Dalvin Tomlinson is very, very good as far as in the middle, blocking up, for the run defense. Very, very good. Oh, well, I had this conversation before. I don't look at enough of it. I mean, each one has their good points and each one has their bad points, Tom. If Shane and Dable are going to be around, they got their work cut out for them. To pick out. Hopefully, we'll also have to wait and see too, because if the Giants somehow wind up winning a couple games, they're gonna go from pick number 1 or 2 up to maybe 7, 8, 9, or 10, whatever it might wind up being. Then they may not have a shot at one of those guys. So, but I said I don't look at enough college film or tape or anything like that for me to really come out here and say, I don't do that. There's guys. I look at maybe YouTube videos of guys who do stuff like that. They follow a guy or watch the film and all that stuff and everything. I don't have time to do that. And also, for me to say an accurate, Shador has some good points. Cam Ward's got some good stuff as well too. But there's no Andrew Luck coming out. There's no Peyton Manning. There's no John Elway. There's no can't miss. These guys, they all have, they have a lot of things going for them there, but they also have their own deficiencies. Now, one of the things with Shador, which I did say, is, he's not like a Lamar Jackson, really, really phenomenal athlete. He can make the throws, but a lot of his throws down the field don't have a lot of velocity on them. They kind of lose velocity once he goes over like 25 or 30 yards. Of course, some of it with Shador, you might have the sideshow, which his father might bring, right? You don't know if that's going to be the same thing with Ward. A lot of it too is you got to look at what the guys are made of, because you come to New York, it doesn't matter how good you can do or this or that. It does matter, but it also matters a lot. How can you handle the pressure? There's a lot of pressure here. You start losing, you throw an incomplete pass. You could win 300 games in a row. And in those 300 games, you throw one incomplete pass, and all the idiot press people, all they want to talk about, that one pass you threw was incomplete. Let's talk about that. Is there a problem? Do you suck? That was incomplete. I don't think I've ever seen such a horrible pass before. Are you that bad? They don't talk about the good. They just bring up all the. There's a lot of distractions here. So, as much as you might hate Daniel Jones or like him or whatever, one thing you got to, I'm sure it might have affected him, but he was always, relatively, he didn't freak out and stuff like that. His demeanor was, low key. He did a decent job at handling the pressure. There's a lot of pressure. So that's got a lot to do with it as well too. If you got guys who come here and can't handle the pressure, it doesn't matter how good of a quarterback they are. They may not be the best guy. So a lot of stuff I can't even answer, because I'm not sitting there talking to them or finding out about them and all of that stuff. And a lot of these scouts, they go out, obviously, and that's what they do. They go around maybe to they might go to the University of Miami. They go to the U, and they find out his classmates, Cam Ward's classmates, and how does he teach? How does he treat the people? How does he treat the people? How does he treat a janitor? How does he treat the cafeteria lady? When he goes in line for his food, he say, hey. Let's have some food here. Or is he kind and, I can have some potatoes, please? Oh, thank you so much. Is he like that? I don't know those. That's got a lot to do with it. A lot to do with it. I mean, because that's a locker room kind of thing. If you have somebody, it's all about me, or if they're not very nice with other people, they may not want them. And if Shador is something like his father was, to me, is a jack. He's a sideshow. So a lot of that stuff I can't answer. If they're there, they'll do their due diligence and they'll make the best decision. If they have the chance to pick these guys, they'll do the best that they have. I mean, because Dable knows what he's looking for, right? If he can find one of these guys that thinks he might have it, he might be able to, be the guy, and if his character works out okay, I'm sure they'll do the best they can to try to get one of these guys. But I said, all I can say is I know PFF's got first round grades on 3 quarterbacks: Jalen Milroe, Ward, and Sanders. Right, all the other guys are like second, third round grades on them. So, right, I read up on some of that stuff on PFF as well too. But they all got strengths and weaknesses to them. So I mean, there's no surefire, gotta have guy. I mean, I said, a lot of stuff I see is that on, obviously like YouTube and stuff like that. You see a lot of the good stuff. I don't see every pass that Cam Ward's made. I don't see every pass that Sanders has made. You know what I mean? I know Sanders got some really good numbers this year. That's for darn sure. I mean, even in his loss to, who did they lose to? Kansas. He had some really good numbers. 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. I can't remember what he was like 23 out of 29, 300 and something yards. I mean, pretty good. But then again, you're looking at that and you're going up against Kansas. Kansas beat them, but Kansas, I think, had a losing record. In the pros, he's not going up against Kansas. He's going up against everybody is the best of the best. So, it's hard for me to say. As I said, all I know is that whoever the coach and GM is, they'll do their due diligence, and whoever they wind up bringing in. And it might be that too. It might be they might like Sanders, but if we have the number 2 overall pick, somebody might jump in front of the Giants at number 1 and take Sanders, and we might be stuck with Ward. So it is what it is. But I said, going back, I said this defensive line is just wow. I mean, I said we made their running game. We made their one running back look. I mean, Darrell, 22 carries, 112 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. Along with 22 yards. That's his first time he ever had over 100 yards in a game. That was the first time in 26 games that a Dallas Cowboy running back has gotten over 100 yards. Not the team. First time in 20 that one running back for the Dallas Cowboys got over 100 yards. And of course, it was against the Giants. I mean, his run defense is just absolutely freaking pathetic. And this was supposed to be a bright spot for a Shane Bowen defense, was the run defense, and it's been nothing. I mean, ever since we got Wink in here, the past 3 years has been absolute trash, absolute freaking garbage, our run defense. And you thought it would be a little bit different this year. Bowen, his system is supposed to be good against the run. We got Bobby Okereke in there, who at least this week had a bunch of tackles. But once again, he punched out a ball. The guy just got his knee down. I think I would have took a touchdown away from him. We got screwed there. His knee that was Rush's knee, just touched down before the ball came out. We got screwed there. But meanwhile, they get a pick six run. But I mean, can't catch a break. But the Giants, their run defense is just horrible, absolute trash. I mean, if Bowen's back, if Dable, whatever, we need to get in the draft. Because the thing I like in the draft, right, is that whoever you pick, it may be in the second round if you take a quarterback in the first round, especially in the second round. The guy's only going to cost you like about $1 million a year. It's cheap. You go out into, I mean, we should, once again, should have kept Ashawn Robinson. He's having a very good year. Very good year. Should have kept him. He did a very good job. He's doing a very good job this year, but he did a nice job last year for the Giants with the run game. Unfortunately, we didn't re-sign him, let him go, and he's having a great year. Of course, it's not with the Giants, right? But I said, but if we can find somebody in free agency, fine. But it's going to cost you some money, to get somebody. I mean, Nacho's not the answer, right? Nice guy and all that, but he's not the answer. I mean, as far as being a dominant run defender, he's not the answer. So we need to get somebody on the defensive front next to Sexy. I mean, because this is just embarrassing. It all starts in the trenches. If you can control the trenches, you can control the game. Look what the Cowboys did. Their offensive line, right, controlled the game. We didn't have a sack. I think we had 4 quarterback hits or three quarterback hits. We didn't have a sack once again. Meanwhile, and they ran for they ran the ball really, really well, and they protected Cooper Rush, and we couldn't even get a sack. Meanwhile, on the defensive side, right, their defensive line dominated, right? They got hits, they got pressures, they got sacks, quarterback hits. We couldn't run the ball. Every time Locke went back for pass, he's running for his life or he's getting hit. They dominated on the line. Everything starts on the line, offense and defensive line. And the Giants' offense we're not dominating enough, and it's really bad. I mean, the tackling is freaking absolutely trash, atrocious. And so is the run defense. Absolute freaking garbage. Horrible. But let's end this on a bright spot here, shall we? I got to admit, especially after today, obviously it's hard to, to be happy and cheery and chipper and all that stuff and everything after this game's over. But, tell you what, after this game is over, I'm loving me some Theo, some Malik, and some Tyler. Right? Some Tyler Nubin, Malik Neighbors, of course, and Theo Johnson. I'll tell you what, Theo, 5 receptions. I mean, once again, didn't set the world on fire, but he had 5 receptions, 54 yards. He had 5 targets, caught all 5 targets, went his way. Now, if you look where we had it, there's Theo. Now he started off really slow. Now, I mean, obviously that certainly could possibly be, with Theo, he's learning the system or what, in the beginning, because I think after the first 4 games, Theo had 3 catches. 3 catches. It's like, but since then, now in the Philadelphia game, he didn't get a catch or a target in the Philadelphia game, but since then, the Seattle game, he caught 5 passes. Cincinnati, he caught 3. Pittsburgh game, he caught 3. Washington, he caught 3. Carolina, he caught 4. Tampa Bay, he caught 3. And this week, he caught 5. He caught 5. He had 5 targets, caught all 5 balls. So he is, what does he have here? He has 29 receptions on the season. We still have 5 games to go. So, I mean, he's catching at least, he missed he's coming. I mean, he's catching. I mean, he's on pace for, I'm going to say, probably anywhere from 40 to 50 catches, Theo Johnson. And as I said, he started at the first 4 games, he had 3 catches. So he started really, really slow. But, he's starting to come on. I'm not saying we got a Kittle. I'm not saying we got a Kelsey. Or I'm not saying that, but Theo, he's coming on. He's so I mean, if he can wind up with 40, 45 catches for his rookie season and build upon that, okay, cool. I said once again, I'm not saying we got the greatest tight end in history and all like that, but he's starting to come on. He's catching more balls as time goes by. So I'm very, very, very excited. I mean, this draft class, I mean, I'm not going to go over the first two draft classes that Shane had. I'm not going to go over that, but this would be here a long time. But with Theo Johnson, I mean, fourth round pick, not bad at all. Then I want to go over good old. We'll take Malik, right? He's on right now. He caught 8 passes. So he has 75 catches. He missed a game, I think. Was it 10? He missed 2 games. So he has 75 catches and he missed 2 games. So he's on pace. He has 5 more games to go. So, I mean, he's on pace for like 100 and, well, let's see. He played 10 games, 7.5 catches. That would be what? 15. He's on pace for another 37 catches. 85, 95, 05. He's on pace if he can play. He's on pace for about 110 receptions, Malik Neighbors, in his rookie season. And he missed 2 games. If he played every game, once again, he had another drop today. So he's got to do a better job. I mean, I know it's impossible to catch every pass. I get it, but you got to catch the passes, man. But if he played in every game, I mean, he'd be on pace for like 120 receptions, if not 125 or so. So, I mean, he's doing pretty good. He's really doing good. Let's see what he has. He has 607. He has about 750 receiving yards, right? He has 75 for 700. So he's averaging about 10 yards of reception. You'd like that to be up a little bit, but still, he's on pace to get well over 1,000 yards receiving. He's on pace to get well over 100 receptions. And this is with Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito throwing, and last week, right, the game against Tampa Bay, he didn't get 1 target in the first half. Nothing. He caught all 6 of his passes in the second half. Imagine if they targeted the guy in the first half, right? With somebody like him, you put the dude in the backfield. I don't care. Get the ball, hand it off to him. I don't care what you shovel pass it to him. Let him come on a jet sweep. Get the ball, flip it to him. Let him get the ball in his hands. It can't be like, we're halfway through the third quarter. We haven't thrown the ball at Malik yet. What are you, stupid? I mean, get the ball in his hands. I mean, he has because of the porous offensive line, we don't have great quarterback play and all stuff. It's kind of tough to draw up all these fancy things, and also he's become kind of like, in a way, almost kind of like a possession receiver, right? A lot of short passes. He averages about 10 yards reception and all. So, but still, I mean, the dude, that's a good, solid pick 6 right there. Good, solid pick 6. Now, is he going to make you forget about Odell Beckham Jr.? No, probably not. Not yet, anyway. But he's that's a good pick. Pick 6 right there. I said he's on pace for well over 100 receptions. He's on pace maybe to break the Giants' receiving record, I think, in the season. And he would be doing that as a rookie. So imagine we had an offensive line. Imagine we had a quarterback. Imagine what Malik Neighbors could do. So that was a good pick. And then just one more quick shout out here to, I'll tell you what, Phillips, very impressed with him. But I went to Tyler Nubin. Once again, 12 tackles, leads the team in tackles for the game. 12 tackles. Now, with good old Nubin here. I'll find him. Here he is. He has 93 tackles on the season. He's played in all 12 games, 93 tackles. He's on pace for, like 120, 130 tackles. Not bad. Let me see what we got here. Let's go here. Okay, here we are. Tyler Nubin, he had 12 tackles, 5 solo. He had 1 tackle for loss, okay? And he's played in every game for the Giants. Now, the thing is, of course, everybody, once again, is like, Xavier McKinney leads the league or is tied for lead. I don't know if he got an interception tonight. That I don't know. But he has at least 7 interceptions. Tyler Nubin doesn't have one, yada, 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 and all that. But also Tyler Nubin's making probably less than $1 million a year. Xavier McKinney's making $17 million a year, right? But I bet you Tyler Nubin probably has more tackle. Let's see. Xavier McKinney. Let's dial him up here. Xavier McKinney. Okay. Let's see. How many tackles does he have on the season? Now, once again, I love me some interceptions, so don't get me wrong here. But he has here at Green Bay, he has 54 tackles. He's played. He has 7 interceptions going into this game here. But so he's playing every game. So he might have 60 tackles. Maybe he might have 60 tackles. Meanwhile, Tyler Nubin has what's he have? He has over 30 more tackles on the season. So the rookie that we brought in, right, Tyler Nubin, a 2nd-round pick, right, who replaced a 2nd-round pick, Xavier McKinney. He's played in every game. Xavier McKinney's played in every game. Tyler Nubin, right, his rookie season, okay, he's making probably about $1 million, maybe a little bit less. Xavier McKinney's making $17 million. Tyler Nubin's making, just say 1. McKinney's making 17 times the amount of money, right? Tyler Nubin, I think, leads the team in tackles. Okay, he has 90 as I X'd that. I think has over 90. Oh wait, no, my bad. There's 93 tackles. Right, he has more than 50% more tackles than Xavier McKinney does in the same amount of games. So, good old Tyler Nubin. He's and as Andrew Phillips too. Andrew Phillips, right? Yeah. First 4 picks the Giants had this year. Very, very productive. If the Giants could do the same thing again in next year's draft class, we might be off and running. Now, I'm not saying to a Super Bowl or nothing, but that could be huge. And I said you got Tracy, right? Tracy's a very, very good 5th-round pick. Now, whether he winds up being the starting running back for the future for the Giants or not, you don't know. Or if he wants to be in the backup to somebody, who knows? But one thing I do know is that we need a quarterback and we need a good offensive line. When we have good offensive line play in there, you see Tracy get you some chunk yards, score some long touchdowns, averages 7 yards a carry. When you got crappy offensive line play like we did today, he's averaging 3.5 yards a carry. Can't do much of anything, right? But he can catch the ball. He can run. Tracy, 5th-round pick, phenomenal pick. As I said, going forward, who knows? Is he going to be the backup first round? I don't know. But, the Giants, first 5 picks this year, really, really, really good. Really outstanding. So we can do the same thing again next year. That would be awesome. I said, you look at Theo Johnson, who's a 4th-round pick, right? Well, we're supposed to get, hopefully, a compensatory pick next year in the 4th round because of Ben Bredesen. So we might have 2 4th-round picks next year, right? So we should have a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, maybe 2 4ths. So, I mean, if we can hit it out of the park next year in the draft like we did this year in the draft, we could be off and, obviously we got to get a quarterback, but that would be absolutely huge. But I just, after the game here today, I just, there was so much negativity as always, but, I just saw those guys and, I just want to give him a shout out because, Theo had a nice game today. Malik had a very good game and Neighbors was all over the freaking field. All over the field, making tackles. Gotta love him. And these guys only going to get better. The guy has, as I said, he's on pace for 130 tackles or something like that as a rookie. Man. Awesome pick. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 24 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay of this, once again, thank you so much for the Bob Mark means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.